All right, pre-trip inspection card B.
I'm looking at my door area. I'm going to start with my mirror. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, clean and clear to my view. My door is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, working properly. Now I'm going to talk about my door hinges. They're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, free of any illegal welds. Now I'm going to talk about my door seal. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, free of any abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. We'll also talk about the window, make sure it's working properly. Now I'm going to talk about my side marker light. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, amber in color, used for four-way flashes and turn signals. My door latch is working properly. Now I'm going to talk about my steps. They're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, free of any debris. Moving to the back, I have my clearance marker light. It's amber in color, properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, and it's working properly. Moving down, my truck bed is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. My DEF fluid cap is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, hand tight. Now I'm going to talk about my drive shaft. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. U-joints are properly lubed. Now I'm going to talk about my suspension area. I got my leaf spring hangers and my leaf springs. They're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. No illegal welds, and my leaf springs are in line. Now I'm going to talk about my shocks and my shock mount. I have my lower shock mount and my upper shock mount, which you can't see, but they're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. My shocks is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, not leaking. There are no illegal welds on my upper and lower shock mounts. Now I'm going to talk about my braking system. My brake line is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, free of any abrasions, bubbles, or cuts. On the inside, I have my brake drum and my disc brakes. My brake drum, my brake pads. They're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. My brake pads has at least a 1/4 inch thickness, free of any oil, grease, or debris. My inside tire is properly seated and beaded to my rim. My inner rim is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. No illegal welds. These are dual tires. These dual tires are evenly worn at 2/32 of tread depth. My dual rims are properly butted together, free of any debris between the both of them. My tires are free of any abrasions, bubbles, or cuts, and not leaking, properly beaded and seated to my rims. My rims are properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, free of any illegal welds. My lug nuts are properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. I know they're tight because there's no rust trails or metal shapes that indicate that they're loose. It is equipped with a metal valve stem and cap. My tires are filled to at least 100 psi. My wheel hub is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, not leaking. I have my mud flaps. They're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, at least 2 inches from the ground. My fuel tank is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, not leaking. There are no holes in my fuel tank. My fuel tank cap is hand tight and is properly mounted secure. Moving to the back of my vehicle. Again, you have a red marker light. Mention your marker light. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken, red in color. Moving to the back of my vehicle, I got my brake light, my red tail lights. They're red in color. They're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Used for park lights, stop lights, four-way flashers, and left and right turn signal. Red in color. I have a clear reverse light. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. My license plate is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Up to date. No debris blocking any of my numbers. My license plate light is clear in color. It's properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present, and it's working properly. My bumper is properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. DOT tape 100% across the bumper. Equipped with 3 clearance lights. They're properly mounted secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. Red in color. I would do the same thing on the passenger side of my vehicle that I did on my driver's side. But at the bottom, on that passenger side, I have my exhaust. My exhaust over there. It's properly mounted, secure, not cracked, bent, or broken. All nuts and bolts are present. No black soot indicate that it's leaking. That would be it right there.
And that completes B.